Hello there, it's that time of year again. The kids have gone back to school after the long 6 weeks holidays. The nights are drawing in, aren't they? It is getting a little bit colder out there as well. Slowly but surely we realise that September's here. Now, one of the buzzwords that flies around this time of the year is safer September. I've not really got involved in that in the past or anything. I just think you should be safe all year round and stuff, every single month. For me, it's kind of a priority as well as an essential part of being an electrician. It's something you do, it comes naturally to you. You don't have to make a meal of it. It is quite basic. I'm going to run through a basic safe isolation procedure with you guys today. I'll just show you locking off the isolator, maybe the main switch inside the board as well. Now, this board is a little bit of a Frankenstein board of mine. It's an MK, as you can probably see, but we've got some Wilex stuff inside. We've got some MCBs and RCBOs and stuff, and double pole isolator there. So we'll lock that off. First thing the equipment will need. Now, just down here on the bench, just out of sight, I've got some of the essentials. One of which is the approved voltage indicator. These are to GS38, you know, with the little bit of tips showing there at the top. You might see me use these a few times in the video. A pair of these definitely need that. A proving unit or a known source. Today we're going to go with a proving unit just to prove that the voltage indicators actually are working on both sides of the isolation. We'll just hold that up there. I've got one of these. Now, we've all seen these. Yes, it will prove something if something's live. I guess it'll come on, you know, yes, I'm live, you know, you can turn it off and the thing will switch off. But that's not really what we can use safe isolation with or anything. It has its uses, but it's not for what we're doing today. Other bits we're going to need are the label, the padlock. We've got the pen to write on it. You can obviously write on the label itself, your date, your name, company, so on and so forth, your star sign, or, you know, whoever you want to vote for and stuff like that. The essential little lock off piece here that's actually going to lock the isolator off as well. I'll tell you later why I chose that one. Now, just looking at it, you saw me with the volt stick. Obviously the tail's lit up and there is actual power going into the thing. So you can see what I'm saying. It'll prove it live, but it's not going to prove it dead or anything. Now, as it is at the moment, yeah, turn the light on. Obviously the board's energized, so we've got power coming in. If I turn it off and the light goes off, yes, in essence, a visual check and maybe an audio one as well says that the power's gone off. Okay, so you're not really meant to do that under load, but you know, you can flick these off as well. Turn that off. Everything's switched off there. You're green, you're good to go. But I need to prove that it's dead. I'm going to lock the isolator off with this little yellow device here. Just undo it a little bit. There are other ones available. This blue one here, you can see it's like double the size. That one, we've got some red ones here, different types and shapes and stuff. I don't think I've ever used that one ever. There's a big, nice wide one for isolators, bigger isolators and stuff. There's another one there, and it's more of a clamp issue there. You screw that down, it clamps, and then you put the padlock through there. This one's really basic, really simple. I usually keep that in my tool bag itself, away from any testing gear and stuff, just in case I need to isolate or lock something off quickly. There's also these ones as well you've seen for MCBs, individual ones. Again, they've got the hole in there, so you can lock off an individual MCB or ICBO. Oh yeah, FDD now, I guess, but yeah. Right, so we'll get this one on up in here, and it basically just, you can see what it's doing. It's just, it screws down quite tight, and you can already see how I'm pulling on that, and you can already see I can't turn the switch on, so I can't energize the rest of the installation there, and I've left the light on so it would come on, but I'm still not safe enough. What I'm going to do, get the old padlock out and the label, shove that through there, lock it off, as they say, key in the pocket, and we can now open this little thing here, just a little magnet kind of, well, I got a bunch of them basically just to help hold the lid on these Amendment 3 boards, you know, where the lid flaps open, and you know, whenever you're working on it you need it to stay up. So what we can do now, obviously, before I unscrew this completely, I've nowhere to put my probes really properly yet, so I'm just going to pop the front off with the idea that it is all safely isolated. and then we'll go through the procedure with the probes themselves and the breathing unit. Okay, so we got the probes, the front's off, everything's set up. What I'm not going to do, I'm not going to go testing yet. What I'll do, I'll test this first to see if these actually do work into the Q-Tech breathing unit there, the Q-Prove 3 it's called. And what this does, it just, I think you can hear it buzzing away there. Then we've got tone, and it basically just goes through all the voltage ranges and stuff that you can see on there and tests them all. And so we now know that this works, and we can put this on a conductor up here or a screw. Got nothing coming through there, nothing coming through there, so you can't, can you see that on there? There's no lights at all. So there's 3 tests to do. So we're going to do line to neutral first. Obviously there's nothing happening there at all. And then we're going to come across up to earth bar, line to earth, nothing there. That's the second test. And then we're going to jump across to the neutral and the earth bar again. That's the third test. So there's absolutely no voltage between all 3 of those. We're safe to go. One last thing to do is recheck or reprove that your voltage indicator is working. So it's going through the range again, coming down 303, 179, and we've got tone. There are obviously lots of different types of voltage indicators and proving units, and so they will vary in noises and tones and lights and stuff. With the supply now safely isolated, it is safe to work on it. You can go and work on a piece of equipment, put the front back on maybe, and run a new circuit in wherever it is. Whatever the reason you were going to do to isolate power from the board, you're good to do so. Now, real world scenario. We're in a shed at the moment, you know, this is a bit of a test rig kind of thing, and they're not normally at this height. I mean, well, I think technically there should be something like this height right now, but most of the ones in the country, they're either high up out of reach or under cupboards, under stairs. You'll find them anywhere really, and they can be quite tricky to get to. One other thing I wanted to show you, we need to put the front back on. I'll find a screwdriver. Now, one other thing, what it was, the reason I actually wanted to use this little yellow one here is because there's not always access to an isolator. In fact, there's not always an isolator in general, you know, there's just, they don't fit isolators. People aren't fitting isolators. I don't know why. I mean, if there's a meter here, there should be an isolator to the first dB or whatever, but there's not that many isolators out there. And sometimes it's not possible to isolate at the isolator or lock it off there. So what we have to do is do it at the actual board itself. One of the great things about this yellow one is you can do it on the board here. You can screw it in. I'll show you. And let's, for whatever it is, let's just get the padlock on there as well. Lock it off. Now we're still turned off here. I mean, if you want, you could probably put another lock-off device on there, but let's say there's no, in this shed scenario, there's an isolator here and the power's turned off, but we could have it so that the power's turned on, but it's turned off there. And again, we want to undo the board. So we're just disregarding the fact that there's an isolator there, and the tails just come straight from the meter into the board. Just drop the screwdriver on my foot. And what we can do with this is the board will, grab that little screwdriver, the board front will come off like so. With the, you see the little isolator up here, the little lock off up here, it's still locked. It's still locked the switch off, so I've no way of turning, you can see I've no way of turning the board on, so nothing downstream from this board is going to be energized whatsoever. The only issue I have now is I obviously have power from the tails coming in. However, on the other side of the isolator, nothing's live whatsoever. So if I'm not moving the board or anything like that, that's fine in that situation. And I'm locking off, you know, for instance, if I'm running in a new shower circuit, or if I'm doing something on, you know, testing or anything like that, that's a good process, especially when you don't have an isolator. Funnily enough, a lot of the boards that I'm testing and working on stuff, they don't have an isolator, so I'll just throw the lock off on the main switch, do my proving dead there. And I mean, there's a bit of a perk, I guess. If you've not got your proving unit with you, or you've left it in the van or whatever else, you can actually use the known source we said. So just jump your probes up here, because obviously the tails are live, so you can use that as the known source, just to prove that your voltage indicators are working, and you've got 230 across there. And then you can come back down here, check your line and neutral there, check your line and earth up there, and then come across onto your neutral, check your line and neutral again there. It's making a bit of a tone there, but trust me, there's 0 volts. Again, same 3 tests. So you've tested it, it's proved dead, and then you just retest them, make sure it's all working. There we go. Good to go, good to do whatever you want, like I say, testing and new circuits and whatever you want to isolate the power for. So we've removed the little device here now, the little lockout device. We now energise the board up, and we can start turning things on just to let's see if we've got any juice flowing. So we've got the lights on there, we've got the socket coming on, we've got one spotlights on there, and that one, oh god, that's just cost me about £5. Not to mention Greta's going to come down here and give me an earful. But yeah, that's basically safe isolation in its basic form. From what I said, it's not something that needs to be like for signalling or anything like that, you know, just for your Instagram pictures. It's a serious thing. What I say is, don't just do it for September, do it all year round, do it all the time. Do it when no one's watching. Do it when only you know you've done it, and make sure you do it properly. Put the keys in your pocket. You've got the stages, so test, prove before that your indicators are working, test it dead, reprove again, and then when you're testing it, do the 3 steps, so line to neutral, line to earth, and then neutral to earth as well. Simple as that. Lock off wherever you can, make sure everything's safe, double check. Labelling is important as well, because sometimes where the isolators or where the board is or anything like that, someone will come along and think, we want to know how long has this been here and stuff like that. So keep the labelling up to date as well. Maybe put your phone number on there, they can just give you a phone call and say, you know, what's this and stuff. I'm rambling, that's it. I told you it was as basic as it is. Keep it safe out there, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, bye now.